Hey everybody and welcome to TalkChain, everybody's favorite cryptocurrency podcast. Today we're going to talk about Kevin O'Leary using ICOs to launch a hotel deal. We're also going to talk about South Korea potentially unbanning cryptocurrencies. My name is Matt and I'm here with Rob today.
What's up, guys?
And let's get into it. So Rob, Kevin O'Leary, the Donald Trump of Canada, wants to use ICO to get some money for his new hotel idea. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't call him the Donald Trump of Canada. I think he tried to pull off a little political tour, but with his latest interest in ICOs and crypto, I think it's really positive. So the direct quote that he says about crypto is, "I'm a believer that asset-based coins will replace small cap stocks."
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see if that comes to fruition. So he's coming out with a hotel-based ICO
Yeah.
that's backed by the SEC. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
So yeah, so he likes the idea of a physical asset being backed by a coin, which I think everybody can jump on board with. It obviously is going to be much more attractive if you have a physical thing that's going on, not just some idea that you hope to deliver on in the future. That most I think of the ICOs have been based on. So having a tangible asset I think is an advantage to other ones.
Yeah, and I think that's what securities tokens are all about. And I think that's really where exchanges like Templum and T0, for those of you who don't know what T0 is, feel free to check out the video. I'll post a card that'll link directly to that. But that's that's likely where the token will be exchanged because it's SEC approved, means that it will probably have to be accredited investors that are getting involved with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that remains to be seen.
Yeah, well, and the other thing he said is that using an ICO rather than an IPO will allow people, companies, whatever, to circumvent the Wall Street banks that are involved in IPOs right now. So I thought that was kind of interesting because there's a big push to, I don't know, everybody seems to hate on Wall Street, and if there's anything that can get away from these big banks that are required for an IPO launch, it would be better for companies to just go an ICO route instead, even if it has no functional benefit to having a token offering.
Well, yeah, and really that could just be a general hatred for the word Wall Street more so than anything else. Like it's tough because I think if you ask somebody why they hate Wall Street, they couldn't really give you an answer.
Well, my point in saying that is that Wall Street gets in at the ground floor before anybody else gets a chance to. So doing an ICO instead sort of reduces the amount of middlemen that get a chance to take a cut of the company before it's released to the public. So
Right, and I guess that goes back to will it be an accredited investor only or not?
mm,
Because people, and Kevin says this in the interview with CNBC, people will be able to get in with like $50 and $20 investments, but the SEC so far has not let that happen.
yeah, you're right. There has been a bar that people need to have to actually get involved in these projects, but um, yeah. So I mean, I think that the ICO route, it's so far it's been okay to circumvent things like big banks, but at least Kevin on in this interview talks about how he's very willing to work with the SEC to make sure that everything is above board. So it really just seems like this is going to be no different than an IPO in the fact that it's going to have SEC regulation and they're probably going to treat it like an IPO. So they're going to have a lot of regulatory oversight when it comes to this coin offering.
Yeah, and that's kind of what he thinks everybody should be doing is uh, agreeing with the SEC and following their regulations in order to be approved and be able to trade on these exchanges. But it doesn't seem like a lot of crypto wants to go that way.
Well, I think at a certain point, it no longer is an ICO. It's just an IPO, but without actual ownership in the company. So you're not at any advantage.
Yeah, that's a good point. Um, Thankfully, with this one, it's for the $400 million will account for one third of ownership,
Right.
and that will be built into the smart contract.
Yeah. So I don't know how all of this is going to work itself out in the future, but I think it's interesting to think about, eventually if the SEC regulates everything, all ICOs like IPOs, there's no longer any difference. And it's just like the golden era of ICOs is over, and now you're just going to have to be an IPO pretty much. But it remains to be seen. I think it's great that somebody like Kevin O'Leary is jumping on board. He's never one to shy away from making a buck. So if crypto's the answer for him, then it's good.
Yeah, in fact, that's the only thing he's ever cared about.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Kevin O'Leary, who's been on Shark Tank for a decade now, I'd say that shows.
And Dragon's Den before that, the Canadian version,
yeah,
which Shark Tank stole.
Right. So with that, let's move on to South Korea potentially lifting the ban on ICOs. So it's been a while now since South Korea has not allowed any ICOs, and this is actually kind of hearsay from an article from the Korean Times that say that somebody who didn't want to be named says that they're thinking about reintroducing ICOs into the country, which would be great given that South Korea is probably what, Rob, the third biggest market for crypto trading today.
Third biggest market for crypto trading for Bitcoin, and the first for Ethereum. So they are kind of a heavy hitter when it comes to purchasing these tokens. And those are really going to be the main tokens that have to be bought prior to investing in an ICO.
Yeah, so I think in terms of the market as a whole, getting Korea back on the map in terms of ICOs, it'll definitely add some more competition to the currently released projects that are out there, which I think is always good. But it's also going to mean that more people, if they're interested in these ICOs, are going to want to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, like you just said. So overall, good. We should have ICOs available in every single country, and if nothing else, just for the fact that more tech can be innovated and brought to market.
Yeah, because I think you want to see these companies succeed. It's unfortunate that there are the odd scam coins that get some mainstream success, and I think that the regulators should really work towards preventing those. But once you find out that something is a legitimate project, I don't think that they should really be stifling that kind of innovation.
Yeah, they shouldn't. And it just seems like, I mean, between this and China, I think they want to get the regulations set and then let the market do its thing. So hopefully that's what's going on, and they will remove this ban to get Korea running. But yeah, we'll see if this just remains hearsay or they actually figure something out in the next little while.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. So with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Stay safe out there. The market's bounced back a little bit, but I'm still holding my breath, and I'm not sure if I buy the recent upswing. Are you making any trades, Rob?
No, it's too late now for me because it's already pumped so hard. But really, I think that we're back where we were on Saturday morning today. Yeah. So nothing has really changed.
Yeah, not really. I think it's hard to know if that was the bottom, that little dip we saw, or the dip we saw on the weekend. But I haven't made any moves. I think I still have some money in my Robinhood trading account to buy some more Ethereum. Oh, because I got approved for crypto trading. So maybe in our next video I'll talk about crypto on Robinhood. But
nice. I think that's a good idea.
I'm weary about buying in just yet, so we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, follow us at TalkChainPod on Twitter, and let us know what you think about Kevin O'Leary.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks a lot. See you next time.